ahead of that debate.
A year of planning is now starting to take shape on the campus of the University of Utah in Salt Lake City.
Both campaigns have staff here already, as well as the Commission on Presidential Debates.
Kingsbury Hall is being prepared for Wednesday's first vice presidential debate. On Sunday, crews were laying the fiber optics for the nearly 100 million people anticipated to watch it.
Really, we're just kind of waiting in terms of that next step for security.
In the next day or so, unscalable fences will go up, with all security precautions going to the next level on Tuesday when the Secret Service moves in.
As soon as this area is secure, the United States Secret Service will have kind of operational control. It almost becomes kind of their campus.
Security efforts are a collaboration between federal officials as well as the Salt Lake City Police Department and the Utah Highway Patrol. Due to security measures, traffic will be impacted.
There will be some road closures around President's Circle and around Kingsbury Hall. So pretty much from Tuesday evening through Wednesday, University Streets and 100 South, you'll want to avoid that area.
For those needing medical care, the hospital as well as Primary Children's Hospital will have open access. Amid the pandemic, the university is on what it's calling a coronavirus circuit breaker, meaning with the exception of the healthcare system, all campus buildings are closed. Organizers are anticipating protesters.
We're just encouraging everybody, if they do plan to come up here, just to wear masks, practice that social distancing, and certainly we'll respect those
Get back in
there. Protests or people who want to make their voices heard.
And that was Nicole Newman reporting. Tomorrow's debate between Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence set to begin at 8 o'clock. You can watch it right here on Fox 2 or stream it live on our website, fox2now.com.
And coming up this Friday, the Missouri gubernatorial debate that was previously postponed will take place. The Missouri Press Association is hosting the debate, which will feature all four candidates. That includes Governor Mike Parson, Democratic State Auditor Nicole Galloway, Libertarian Rick Combs, and the Green Party's Jerome Howard Bauer. The debate starts at 2 o'clock on Friday. You can also watch it live right here on Fox 2, your local election headquarters. And you're watching Fox 2 News at 6. It's coverage you can count on.
Still ahead tonight, a one-of-a-kind piece of machinery being used at a farm right here in Missouri to make harvesting hemp a whole lot easier. How it works and how other farmers are benefiting coming up.
But first, it's time to check those boxes in the basement. There's a guy in town looking to buy vintage toys and collectibles. That story straight ahead tonight.
Fasten your seatbelt. Here's your in-flight briefing on what career Congresswoman Ann Wagner's really been up to. Since she went to Congress, Wagner's net worth increased by millions, even voted to raise her own salary. And Wagner wants wings, voting to allow herself to use corporate private jets and fly first class, with taxpayers footing the bill. Time to fly on home, Ann Wagner, because you've spent too long making Washington work for you. House Majority PAC is responsible for sarcasm.
The redesigned Honda CR-V EX is better than ever. It has more passenger volume than the Toyota RAV4, with more cargo volume than the Nissan Rogue SV, and a turbocharged engine with more horsepower than the Subaru Forester, plus standard safety features like a road departure mitigation system. All this makes the CR-V EX a value that's impossible to ignore. Contact your Honda dealer to learn more or shop online.
It's a circus, all right. Jefferson City politicians trying to distract you with an old-school sideshow. Amendment 3, 5,000 words of smoke and mirrors put on the ballot by politicians. The truth? Amendment 3 has lobbyist-if loopholes, unless insiders draw legislative districts that protect their favorite politicians. No wonder judges call it misleading and unfair. Send a message to those clowns. Vote no to their dirty tricks. Vote no on Amendment 3.
The attacks Ann Wagner has launched against me have been repeatedly called false and misleading. I'm Jill Shue. Here's the truth. I don't support defunding the police, and I don't support Medicare for all. But I do plan to deliver where Ann Wagner's failed. I'll protect people with pre-existing conditions, keep our communities safe from gun violence, and I'll work with anyone to help us recover from COVID and restart our economy. I'm Jill Shue, and I approve this message because you deserve a representative you can trust.
Never miss important news with alerts sent to your phone. Get the Fox 2 Now app.
Legendary guitarist and rock and roll Hall of Famer Eddie Van Halen has died after a long battle with throat cancer. His son, Wolfgang, posted on Twitter that his dad died this morning at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica. Wolf was by his father's side along with Eddie's wife, Jamie, his brother, and Van Halen drummer, Alex. Eddie Van Halen was 65 years old.
Damn.
Well, if you've got finished toys up in the attic, you may want to dig them out.
Yeah, there's a special toy show underway right now where people are looking to buy them. Joel McGee is known as the Toy Scout, and he's on a 4-city tour across the Midwest where he's looking to buy old toys and collectibles. McGee says that he buys them, he restores them, and then gets them back out to collectors.
I'm really shocked when people bring me up stuff that's still never used in the package from like decades ago. And I always ask them, I said, well, why did no kid ever play with this? And they said, you know what? My kid was one of those kids that always was looking for stuff ahead of time because he knew that maybe Santa was going to hide stuff. And so I had to hide them really well.
You got a bunch of toys for you, man.
And then 40 years later, here it is.
No.
McGee says that they're going to set up at the Courtyard by Marriott Creve Coeur through tomorrow. So see, it may be worth some money now, Sandy. You hid it for 40 years, and now it's a nice investment.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, growing hemp in Missouri is now legal, and there's a farm in southwest Missouri using a one-of-a-kind machine that makes it a whole lot easier.
And not only is it helping them, but also other farmers growing hemp in the area. Tonight, Melanie Chapman explains how it all works.
5 acres of industrial hemp. 5,000 hemp plants here. We went along with the team at Elder Farms to watch them harvest the plants with a machine they say is the only one of its kind in the world.
What we're doing here today is we're running our hemp harvesting machine for biomass. So all of this is going to be extracted into CBD oil.
Kyla Brown, the co-owner of Elder Farms, says for many farmers, harvesting hemp is very labor-intensive and time-consuming. But with this machine, it saves them a lot of time and basically skips certain steps, like having to manually cut every single plant, chop off the branches, and hang-dry the plants, and risk losing their crop to mold. At Elder Farms, they put the hemp through a specialized freeze-drying process.
And what that will do is instead of dealing with, a couple of weeks to up to a month of hang drying, it will remove all that moisture content within about 12 hours. So it dramatically speeds up the entire process.
Even with the machine speeding up the process and stripping the plants from the stem, there is still a lot of work left to do, like manually stripping any remaining leaves from the stems.
We're trying to find those crops that are going to benefit people's health.
This 121-year-old farm has evolved throughout the years. This is the first time in a century they've been able to harvest hemp.
It's like a dream come true.
David Bueller grew up on this farm, started up by his great-grandparents, and continued down the family line. Farming dairy cows and struggling.
It's gonna put you on the phone, man.
Time to look at alternative
Stop
farming.
working for
Started using the
stuff.
land to grow
Make your
olives and
own
turn
money.
them into products like syrup and CBD
You
oil.
can send all your money to Trace and fix this house up.
No.
Huh?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Take all your money and say you're here.
No.
Yeah.
The family farm.
No.
Wanted to introduce new generations to it, including more women.
Women are very critical thinkers and problem solvers, so I feel like it brings a whole other angle to farming. Not that men aren't, but I think if we work together, we can solve a lot of problems at the farm, or just work together.
And working together is exactly what they do, growing and producing new ways of farming. In Mount Vernon, Melanie Chapman, Ozarks.